Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 26th of July, 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 finished the day up 0.3% to 6,807 points. It's a pretty good effort given the drop early in the day. Energy stocks led the way on the back of higher prices. Santos and Woodside both closed up around 2.7%, while Whitehaven Coal was up 6%. Materials companies also continued their solid week. BHP and Fortescue Metals rose 2.5%, while Rio Tinto jumped nearly 2%. Consumer discretionary stocks were among the worst performers. The banks were mixed. CSL was lower. Wesfarmers, Woolworths and Coles were all down. Some of the biggest falls, though, at least among the large caps, included Gold Digger, Newcrest Mining and James Hardie Industries. Paladin Energy rose 8% and Nanosonics was up 7%. The other strong performer was Buy Now, Pay Later Group Zip, which I'll talk about shortly. Worst today was financial services software company Iress, which lost 6% following the news that its CEO, Andrew Walsh, had resigned. Story number 2, department store Myer expects sales for the past year to be up sharply and its bottom line could end up being the best in 4 years. The one-time dominant player in retailing has had a tough run since COVID hit, but in the past 6 months, people have been shopping again. In fact, Myer, which says its profit for the 12 months to July 30 will probably double to $60 million, is benefiting from more people in its store and a big jump in online sales, which now account for about 1/4 of all revenue. Its share price jumped 23% today. It's valued at around $400 million. Is that big? Well, Woolworths is valued at $44 billion. Story number 3, we talked plenty about Buy Now, Pay Later Group Zipco on the way down, so it's only fair to talk about it on the way back up. Its share price jumped 19% today and is now doubled over the past month. Mind you, it's still about 85% below its peak of February last year. In recent weeks, it's dropped its merger plans with Sezzle and dumped some unprofitable products in overseas markets in an effort to stem losses. And investors are interested again. In fact, the whole sector is gaining some friends with Sezzle's share price up 37% today. Story number 4, Shell has been in negotiations with unions covering its massive floating LNG vessel Prelude, but it's been forced to give ground as it heads towards $1 billion in lost production. The Offshore Alliance, which includes the Australian Workers' Union, has now undertaken 46 days of industrial action on the platform, which is located nearly 500 kilometres off the Western Australia coast. The action includes stoppages and bans on offloading hydrocarbons. Workers on $200,000 a year continue to push for so-called Tier 1 pay levels. Last week, Shell said it would lock out workers because of the action, but now it's back down, having been unable to unload LNG for 20 days. And story number 5, US retail giant Walmart lowered its profit outlook overnight, the second time in 10 weeks, saying rising prices in basics like food was causing people to spend less, particularly on discretionary items. Walmart is the biggest retailer in the US, and its response to the slowdown is to pick up discounting. Walmart is the bellwether for the sector, and retailers were sold off on Wall Street this morning. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 26th of July, 2022. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.